By God, if you ever wondered how tiny sacred shifts can transform an ordinary life into an extraordinary one, lean in, because these 9 small habits carry the power to rewrite your story forever. It's not the mountains you conquer that shape you most, but the daily steps you take in faith, discipline, and intention. When you plant these humble seeds into your routine, you water the roots of a future so blessed, so purposeful, it can only be described as divine intervention guiding your every move. Number 1, rise before the sun. This is where the quiet magic begins, where your life can be reshaped before the noise of the world seeps in and pulls you in 100 directions. Waking up early is not just about setting an alarm. It is about reclaiming the hours that most people give away to chaos. When you choose to rise before the sun, you step into a secret meeting place with God, where silence is holy and the air feels sacred. In those hushed hours, before notifications, conversations, and obligations demand your attention, you get to align your spirit with gratitude and purpose. It's in these moments that you breathe deeply, stretch your limbs, and whisper a simple thank you for the gift of another sunrise. You begin to hear your own thoughts again, without the world shouting over them. You can pray, read, write, or simply sit with your own soul, unrushed, unbothered. This small habit plants seeds of discipline that spill over into every corner of your life. You become the person who does what is hard, who honors your time, who respects your own dreams enough to guard them in the early dawn. You'll notice how the world feels different when you greet it on your own terms. Traffic feels lighter, conversations feel calmer, your mind is clearer, your patience deeper. Rising early isn't about punishing yourself with lost sleep. It's about sleeping earlier so you can wake up to a life you're consciously building, not one you're simply reacting to. It's a chance to plan your day instead of letting the day plan you. It's an invitation to sip your coffee or tea with both hands, watch the first light spill over your window, and feel a sense of quiet victory before anyone else has even stirred. It's where your prayers feel like they travel quicker, where your mind is uncluttered enough to receive divine ideas, where you can visualize the life you desire and make real plans to step into it. Rising before the sun is where you learn to listen for whispers of guidance that are too soft to hear in the midday noise. It's where you find the courage to face the day with a grateful heart instead of a hurried one. Over time, this one simple habit rewires your self-worth. You see yourself as someone worthy of peace, intention, and spiritual intimacy. And by God, the person who owns their morning owns their destiny, one sunrise at a time. Number 2, speak life over yourself, because the words you whisper into your own soul at dawn will echo through every hour that follows. Before the world tries to define you, limit you, label you, or drain you, stand firm and declare who you really are, and whose you really are. Each morning, before your feet even touch the ground, take a breath and say words that pour courage, hope, and blessings into your heart. Tell yourself, by God's grace, I am strong enough for this day. I am loved beyond measure. I am guided, protected, and favored. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Today I choose peace over worry, faith over fear, and action over hesitation. Speaking life over yourself is not just empty self-help talk. It is spiritual warfare against the lies that the world or your own, your mind try to feed you. When you open your mouth to bless your day, you break the chains of doubt before they can bind you. These spoken truths are like armor for your spirit. They remind you that you are not powerless, you are not alone, you are not destined to live small or defeated. Every time you affirm your worth and strength, you train your subconscious mind to look for proof that you are capable, worthy, and ready. It shifts your posture, your shoulders roll back, your head lifts higher, your eyes open to possibility instead of problems. And don't just say words, feel them, let them sink deep into your chest until your heartbeat matches the rhythm of your faith. Declare healing where you feel broken. Declare provision where you feel lack. Declare courage where you feel fear. Speak over your health, your relationships, your work, your dreams. Cover them all in words that align with the promises God has already spoken over your life. When doubt creeps in, speak louder. When fear whispers, respond with a roar of truth. This small habit becomes your daily revival, a reset button that realigns you with the light instead of the shadows. Over days, weeks, and months, you will find your inner voice growing stronger than the noise outside. You'll see your mindset shift from victim to victor, from waiting for permission to stepping out in divine confidence. By God, when you speak life over yourself each morning, you partner with heaven to create a day drenched in favor and resilience. You don't wait for the world to approve of you. You remind the world that you were approved long before it had an opinion. So rise up, speak blessings, declare truth, and watch how your own words transform your reality, one powerful sunrise at a time. Number 3, pray without ceasing. Because life is too unpredictable, too heavy, and too miraculous to navigate alone, so you must weave constant conversation with God into every hour you breathe. This doesn't mean you must always be on your knees or in a church pew. It means your spirit becomes a sanctuary where you and your Creator commune in the everyday moments people overlook. You wake up with a whispered "Thank you, Lord," as your eyes blink open to a new day. You pour your coffee while murmuring, "Guide my steps today." On your commute, instead of letting your mind wander into worry or replay old regrets, you quietly ask, "Father, lead me, protect me, strengthen me." When you face a tough meeting or a challenging person, you send a silent request, "God, give me words that heal, not wound." This habit of constant prayer transforms ordinary moments into sacred ones, reminding you that you are never truly alone, never without help, never without wisdom available if only you'd ask. It is a humble confession that you don't have it all figured out, but you know the one who does. It keeps your pride in check and your spirit anchored in truth. When anxiety tries to tighten its grip around your chest, you breathe out a simple, "Lord, I trust you." When something wonderful happens, a parking spot opens up, an old friend calls, the rain stops just as you step outside, you pause and smile heavenward. Thank you for even this, God. Prayer becomes the heartbeat of your day, a lifeline that lifts your burdens bit by bit instead of letting them crush you all at once. It teaches you to notice the tiny blessings you'd otherwise rush past, to hand over the petty frustrations that would fester in your heart if you kept them to yourself. When you pray without ceasing, you become a vessel for peace in a world addicted to chaos. Your calm becomes contagious, your faith unshakable, your joy unexplainable. You find yourself talking less about your problems to people who can't fix them, and more to the one who can. You begin to see how every mundane chore, every conversation, every quiet sigh is an invitation to stay connected to the divine. This small habit, this endless thread of whispered prayers and unspoken gratitude, weaves your day into a tapestry of miracles, big and small. By God, when you pray without ceasing, you carry heaven's light into the darkest corners of your day, and you live with the unshakable assurance that even when the world is loud and heavy, your spirit remains anchored to a peace that surpasses all understanding. Number 4, guard your inputs, because what you allow to flow into your mind shapes the quality of your thoughts, the strength of your spirit, and the peace within your heart. In a world where negativity is sold like cheap candy and outrage is served daily on every screen, it is an act of holy defiance to stand guard at the gates of your mind. You must become ruthless about what you consume. Like a watchman at a fortress, you decide what enters and what stays out. The endless scroll of doom-filled headlines that convince you the world is beyond hope. Turn down the volume on gossip that poisons your faith in people and magnifies drama that doesn't belong to you. Silence the constant noise of shallow entertainment that numbs your purpose and steals hours you'll never get back. Instead, feed your mind with truth that lifts you. Read scripture that reminds you who you really are and whose you really are. Listen to teachings, sermons, or uplifting podcasts that sharpen your wisdom like iron sharpening iron. Surround yourself with words that breathe life into your weary bones, music that calms your racing mind, and stories of people who overcame darkness so you remember you can too. Be mindful of the voices you allow closest to your heart. Friends who speak in faith and hope are worth more than crowds who chatter in doubt and fear. Every word you read, every video you watch, every conversation you dwell on plants seeds in your mind. Some grow weeds that choke your confidence and clarity, while others blossom into gardens of wisdom and courage. It is your daily duty to pull out the weeds and water the good seeds. When you guard your inputs, you protect your spirit from being hijacked by agendas that do not align with the life you're building. You become more intentional with your focus and less reactive to the noise that begs for your attention. This is not about burying your head in the sand. It's about staying awake and aware without letting darkness drown out your light. It's about giving more room to what inspires you to become the version of yourself God intended. Hopeful, disciplined, grounded, and kind. By guarding your inputs, you give your mind space to create, dream, and solve instead of fear, compare, and spiral. You reclaim hours to read a good book, have deep conversations, or simply sit in silence and think. Luxuries in a distracted age. By God, when you stand watch at the door of your mind, you choose peace over panic, wisdom over noise, and light over shadows. This small daily discipline transforms you into someone whose inner life is so rich, so steady, that the chaos outside can't shake what you've carefully cultivated within. Number 5, serve in small ways, because the grand gestures we dream of doing someday often never happen. But the tiny acts of kindness we choose today ripple out in ways we may never see, but heaven surely does. To serve in small ways is to become an instrument of grace in a world aching for a little more light and warmth. It's holding the door a few seconds longer for the person behind you, offering your genuine smile to a stranger who looks like the world forgot them, or sending an unexpected message of encouragement to a friend who's been silent too long. It's seeing someone burdened with bags and stepping in to help carry the load, or quietly paying for the coffee of the person behind you in line, no strings attached. It's noticing when someone's shoulders sag with invisible weight and asking, "Are you okay?" and meaning it enough to really listen. These tiny acts don't need applause, recognition, or repayment. They are seeds sown into hearts watered by God Himself, blossoming into moments that restore faith in humanity. When you choose to serve in small ways, you break the habit of living consumed by your own worries and open your eyes to the silent battles others fight daily. This shift in focus lightens your own burdens too, because when you pour out love in teaspoons, you find your own cup mysteriously fills. Kindness multiplies miracles, because one gentle word or small favor can travel farther than you'll ever know. That dollar you slip into the hands of someone in need may feed them, but it may also remind them they're not invisible. That compliment you shyly offer could be the very antidote to someone's day of self-doubt. Serving in small ways is a quiet rebellion against the coldness and busyness of our times. It slows you down just enough to be human, just enough to be divine. It doesn't drain you, it revives you, because giving goodness is one of the few things in life that grows as you spend it. You'll discover that when you focus on the tiny acts, bigger opportunities to serve will naturally find you, and your life will hum with purpose even on ordinary days. By God, when you make it your mission to brighten someone else's corner of the world in these simple, unnoticed ways, You step into a higher calling than just surviving day to day. You become a vessel through which heaven's love and mercy flow into the cracks of people's brokenness. And though the world may not notice, heaven does, and your soul will too, because nothing feels more like living than being the reason someone dares to hope again. Number 6, declutter your space. Because the clutter you allow to pile up around you silently piles up within you too, weighing down your mind, clouding your focus and stifling your spirit without you even realizing it. Every dusty corner, every overstuffed drawer, every surface buried under things you no longer use or need becomes a small thief of peace and clarity. When your environment is chaotic, your thoughts often follow suit, bouncing from one thing to the next, distracted, scattered, and exhausted by the constant visual noise. But when you choose to declutter your space, you're not just tidying up, you're creating room for calm, order, and a sense of gentle control over your life. Start small, one drawer, one shelf, one corner at a time. Hold each item in your hands and ask yourself honestly if it serves your present life or drags you back to a past you've outgrown. Release what no longer fits your vision of who you're becoming. Donate it, gift it, recycle it. Just don't let it linger, stealing precious energy you could direct toward your dreams. A clear space invites a clear mind because it removes the constant reminders of unfinished business. When your kitchen counter is clear, you're more likely to prepare a nourishing meal instead of reaching for quick junk. When your desk is uncluttered, you sit down to work with focus instead of feeling overwhelmed before you even begin. When your bedroom is a sanctuary rather than a storage unit, your sleep deepens, your rest feels sacred, and your mornings start with more grace than grogginess. Decluttering is a form of self-respect. It tells your subconscious that you deserve a life free from the unnecessary, that you are worthy of living in an environment that supports your peace instead of attacking it. It's not about having an Instagram perfect home or obsessing over minimalism. It's about designing spaces that breathe with you, not press against you. And each time you clear out a corner of your home, you clear out a corner of your soul, making space for new ideas, deeper prayers, fresher energy. By God, when you choose to live with intention about what surrounds you, you break free from the grip of the material and step into a lighter, freer way of being. You'll find yourself less distracted by what doesn't matter and more available for what does. Meaningful moments, deep rest, inspired action. A decluttered space becomes a daily, silent sermon, reminding you that simplicity is strength, order is power, and a peaceful environment is fertile soil for a mind and spirit ready to grow. So open the windows, let fresh air and light pour in. Bless what you release, cherish what you keep, and stand in your clear, calm space, knowing you are creating room for God to do new and beautiful things in your life. Number 7, write one gratitude. Because when the day is done and the world has pulled at every part of you, this simple act of pausing to thank God for even one small blessing can transform an ordinary night into a sacred exhale of peace. Each night, no matter how busy, stressful, or uneventful it seemed, open a small notebook, take a pen, and capture just one thing for which your heart whispers thank you. It might be as big as a breakthrough you prayed for, or as small as the way the sunset painted the sky in colors that reminded you heaven is near. Some nights it will feel easy, your mind overflowing with moments, an unexpected call from a friend, laughter shared over dinner, a problem solved at work, the warmth of your bed waiting for you. Other nights it might feel impossibly hard, when nothing seemed to go right and your spirit feels drained. Yet it's on those nights this habit holds the most power. Because gratitude is not just for when life is easy, it's the bridge that carries you when life feels anything but. To write down even one thing is to tell your weary soul, see, all is not lost. God is still here. Goodness still found you today. This simple nightly ritual shifts your mind gently from lack to abundance, from complaint to contentment. It trains your eyes to scan the day not for what went wrong, but for what went right, however small. Over time, your perspective transforms. Your spirit becomes more anchored in hope. Your prayers become bolder, and your heart stays open to notice blessings others rush past. Gratitude softens bitterness, soothes anxiety, and humbles pride all in one breath. It becomes your quiet rebellion against a world obsessed with more stuff, more stress, more noise, and brings you back to the sacred enoughness of what you have, who you are, and who holds your future. When you flip back through the pages months later and see lines filled with daily thankfulness, you will have a written testimony that your life, however ordinary it may seem, has always been threaded with grace. By God, this single habit becomes a conversation with heaven, a nightly reminder that every good gift comes from above, and that gratitude is the language that unlocks more of those gifts. It doesn't demand hours. It asks only a minute of your honest heart. A line on a page, a soft thank you that echoes into your dreams and shapes tomorrow's dawn. And so, pen in hand, you end each day not drained by what you lack, but renewed by what you have, falling asleep wrapped in the quiet confidence that even on your hardest days you are still deeply blessed and never alone. Number 8, honor your body. Because this vessel you live in is not just flesh and bone. It is the sacred temple that carries your spirit, your purpose, and your prayers through this world, and by God it deserves your care and respect. Too often we treat our bodies like machines, to be pushed past the point of exhaustion, or like burdens to be judged harshly for every perceived flaw, forgetting that each breath is a miracle and every heartbeat is a gift on loan from heaven. To honor your body is to recognize it as a divine trust, something to be stewarded with love and intention rather than neglected or abused. Move daily, not as punishment but as praise for what your limbs can do. Walk in the sun, stretch in the quiet morning, dance in your kitchen. Lift what makes you feel strong. Let movement be a celebration of life. A gentle reminder that you were not made to be stagnant, but to grow, to bend, to reach. Rest deeply too, without guilt, for even the strongest must lay down their burdens. Sleep is not weakness. It is the sacred reset God built into the design of your days. Protect your rest like holy ground. Unplug, unwind, and trust that the world will not fall apart while you let your soul mend itself in sleep's quiet embrace. And nourish wisely. Feed your body not with shame or fear, but with gratitude for the fuel that keeps you going. Choose foods that bring you energy and life rather than drag you down with regret. Drink your water, savor your meals. Slowly. Taste each bite as a blessing rather than a rush to the next thing. When you honor your body in these simple daily ways, you do more than prevent sickness or add years to your life. You tune yourself to hear God's whispers clearer, because a weary, neglected body often muffles the Spirit's voice. You carry yourself differently too. Head higher, step steadier, knowing you are respecting the masterpiece that you are. And if you stumble, and you will, begin again tomorrow without shame, because this is not about perfection, but about devotion, a commitment to treat yourself like someone deeply loved by the one who made you, by God. When you honor your body, you show gratitude for the breath in your lungs, the strength in your hands, the sight in your eyes, the beat in your chest. You become a living testimony that to love and serve others well, you must first be well enough to stand strong, to speak truth, to carry out the purpose set before you. So move, rest, and nourish, not because you have to look a certain way, but because you are worth the care, the time, and the effort. This small, daily reverence for your earthly temple invites heaven's favor into your flesh, making every step you take another quiet prayer that says, "Thank you, Lord, for this body that carries me. May I honor it well today and always." Number 9. End the day in surrender. Because when the sun sets and the world quiets, your mind often does the opposite, racing through regrets of the day, fears of tomorrow, and burdens you were never meant to carry alone. But by God, you were never designed to hold the weight of life's troubles through the night. You were designed to rest in the assurance that while you sleep, heaven works on your behalf. Before you close your eyes, pause and breathe out every worry that tries to follow you into your dreams. Speak it aloud or whisper it in your heart. Lord, I lay this down at your feet. Whatever keeps you up, an unfinished task, a harsh word spoken, an uncertain future, place it gently in God's hands, trusting that His hands are far steadier than yours ever could be. This small act of nightly surrender is not weakness, it is holy courage. To admit you don't have control over every outcome, but you do have control over your trust. Release your mistakes. What's done is done, and tomorrow brings fresh mercy. Release your worries about things you cannot fix at midnight. God never sleeps, and He is working all things for your good even when your eyes are closed. Release your fears about what waits for you when you wake. He goes before you, paving paths you cannot yet see. End your day with a simple prayer. Father, thank you for this day, for its lessons, for its blessings, for carrying me through. I give you my burdens now, and I trust you to redeem every broken piece. This daily habit is a spiritual exhale, a declaration that you are not in this alone. A quiet reminder that peace does not come from having it all figured out, but from resting in the one who does. Surrender invites you to sleep with a lighter heart, knowing you did what you could, and God will handle the rest. Over time, this practice rewires your spirit to expect rest instead of restlessness, hope instead of dread. You wake up lighter because you laid it all down the night before, and if your mind tries to grab the worry back, gently hand it over again and again until your soul believes it's safe to rest. By God, when you end each day in surrender, you do not waste your nights wrestling with what was never yours to solve alone. You become a living testament that faith is not only spoken in daylight, but whispered in the dark hours when you choose to trust. Breathe and let go. Sleep then becomes an act of worship, an act of trust, a small but mighty declaration that the God who spun the stars into place is more than capable of holding your life together while you lie peacefully in His care. So close your eyes, unclench your hands, and drift into the deep, sacred rest that only surrender can bring, trusting always that while you sleep, God works wonders. By God, as you stand at the edge of each new day, remember these 9 small habits are seeds, humble yet mighty, waiting for your faith, discipline, and trust to water them into a life overflowing with peace, purpose, and divine favor. So rise before the sun and claim the quiet victory of dawn. Speak life over yourself to drown out every lie the world tries to sell you. Pray without ceasing so your soul stays anchored when storms come. Guard your inputs fiercely because your mind is sacred ground. Serve in small ways to become a vessel of heaven's kindness on earth. Declutter your space so your spirit can breathe freely. Write one gratitude each night to train your eyes to see blessings even in battles. Honor your body like the living temple it is by moving, resting, and nourishing it well. And always end your day in surrender, laying every burden at God's feet so your sleep becomes an act of faith. May you carry these habits not as chores, but as daily acts of worship, and may they draw you closer to the life your Creator dreamed for you, overflowing with hope, strength, and unshakable peace. And may you pray tonight and every night, Lord, thank you for guiding me, for giving me strength to choose better, for blessing my small steps with big grace. Protect my mind, my body, my spirit, and all I love, and lead me tomorrow deeper into the life you planned for me. Amen.